Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Justice for Hire's Tai Chi to the People. Anybody can join this training session. It happens every week at 8 p.m. EST, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And if you don't know what Tai Chi is, it is a martial art that helps you slow yourself down to speed up your perception, among lots of other things, a bunch of health benefits and more. And I coach the U.S. Tai Chi push hands team, which is a grappling side of the sports side of the art. Outside of that, I'm Jan, and this is Justice for Hire is a show that we're producing with the community. That means anybody can join the cast, and our cast is worldwide right now. And so we have some wonderful members of our team on here right now, and anybody can join the cast from justiceforhire.app. Every week we do these sessions. They're always free, but if you'd like to donate, we always recommend donating to the cause of the week. And the cause of the week is at Every Town Safe. At Every Town. It's a gun safety collective, and they educate people on gun safety nationwide. And I'm a big proponent of safety in all weapons, especially as a martial artist. So highly recommend checking them out at Every Town. And there's no affiliation with us and at Every Town. We just pick a different group every week to forward our stuff to. So you can check it out, check us out. And without further ado, let's get to the training. And as a matter of fact, if you have been training us for the last few weeks, you know that we were doing the 12 yin set of Neigong. Neigong is like weightlifting for intention. It's 1/3 of the Tai Chi system. And this breath work and isolated breath work and visualization, really specific focus. We did the 12 yin set, but we actually didn't do exercises 1, 2, 3, and maybe even 4. So I think we did 4. But anyway, we're going to start with exercise number 1, and we're really going to work our legs today. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to go into the details of the posture, and then we'll also talk about how to rest from the posture. So it'll be great. And without further ado, start this. Let me just pin myself up here. All right, here we go. So this is the first exercise of the 12 yin set of Neigong. This exercise is called Golden Tortoise. But before we do that, we're going to warm up a little bit. We're going to get into our posture. And all these little details of this posture that we do just standing with feet shoulder length apart, feet parallel. So my toes are facing the camera, facing straight forward. All these little details are going to most of them are going to translate into any stance that you do in Tai Chi, any posture. So an imaginary string will lift you from the top of the head, and then you're going to allow the sensation of relaxation to cascade down the body. So you have this imaginary string. I'm using my hair as an example, pulling it up, and then I'm going to soften my collarbone so that you'll see a little compression in my chest. It drops downward because I'm relaxing the tension out of my chest. And feeling relaxation cascade down through my spine, all the way down to the tailbone. My tailbone, the curve of my lower back should soften and melt away, pointing straight down. So it's not a tuck, I'm not tucking forward, I'm just dropping straight down. It's hard to see because my shirt's a little baggy, but if your butt is sticking out, do your best to drop that tailbone down. The palms will face flat with special attention to the middle finger of each hand. You're going to inhale using the nose, keeping the mouth closed, and your tongue will be gently pressed against the ceiling of the mouth. You're going to inhale and drawing the breath into the belly, more specifically about 2 inches below the belly button or 3 finger lengths below your belly button. And this is called the lower dantian. In yoga, known as the second chakra. Kung Fu and Tai Chi use 3 dantians. So these energy centers or focal centers are very, very important. You're going to inhale and gather the breath here, meaning that you're going to give the sensation of breathing a color. You're going to visualize it. You're going to see, feel, and experience the breath going into the belly. And note that the belly is acting like a pump here for the actual breath. So there's the actual breath, and then there's the visualization. You're using the breath to catalyze a visualization, giving your attention a vehicle to move and centralize at any particular point in your body. So you use the breath for that, to focus the attention gathering the color here. And when you exhale, you're going to push it up and then split the attention, expand the color through both shoulders, down the arms, through the palms and fingertips. Inhaling deep. Exhaling, washing down. Inhaling deep. Exhale, washing down. And while you do this breathing, softening all around the jaw, down the shoulders, down the spine. You're scanning the body for any unnecessary tension. You always want to remove any tension that isn't required to hold the posture. It'll help the circulation intensify throughout the body, strengthen. Exhale, drop the hands down, inhaling up. That was gilded pillar, that exercise. This one's called Uplifting Heaven. Exhale to the palms and fingertips, inhaling up. These are general warm-up exercises. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Going to your toes, keeping the fingers interlaced and stretching out of the shoulders, out of the hips onto the toes, exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhale, wash out. Inhale, drawing back in. The color should wash down the arms. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. As you inhale up, the color is washing down the arms into the belly. Stretching out of the hips, onto the toes and looking up, out of the shoulders and exhaling. And you want to push that color visualization as you exhale from the belly. So the attention is moving it from the belly through the limbs. We're going to do breathing formula 2 now. Inhaling up, and then inhale even deeper, intensify the breath. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Breathing formula 2 again. Inhaling up. Inhale even deeper as if you're opening up a faucet, even wider. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. These multi-stage inhalations are very important, especially in martial arts where you may need to do 2 strikes with 2 exhalations or 2 inhalations. There's the stages, each one has their own intention woven into the breath and the movement. So you want to be able to take one breath but execute multiple intentions with that one breath, whether it's an exhalation or inhalation. We're going to do a 3-stage inhalation now. Inhaling up, 1, and exhale, we reset. And now we start again, 1, even deeper, 2, stronger inhalation, even deeper, 3. And exhaling out. Again, inhaling up, 1, and exhale. Push the color to the palms and fingertips. The arms will be about 45 degrees out rather than straight out. So get that little shoulder blade to disappear in the upper back. And then inhale, 1, even deeper, 2, even deeper, 3. Exhaling. Breathing formula 3, inhaling up, 1. Oh, that's actually 4. Exhale out. Let's reset. Exhaling down. We're going to do 4-stage inhalation now. Inhaling up, 1, even deeper, 2, even deeper, 3, even deeper, 4. And exhale. Exhalation should be just as long as the inhalation, if not longer. And it's super important to do this one in particular, this 4-stage inhalation at your own speed. This trains your lung capacity, it expands it. So if you can do it slow, that's great. If you have to speed it up, inhale deeper, deeper, that's totally fine. Deeper. Exhaling. one more set or one more group, but this time be very specific on what muscle groups we're going to activate for the breath. So we've been doing just the belly, but now we're going to use each part of the core. So we're going to use the belly, the obliques, the lower back, and then the entire belt in succession. So stage 1, belly. 2, obliques. Feel them expanding outward. 3, lower back. As you bend the knees, come down. 4, the entire belt, expanding in all directions. Stretch out the hips, out the shoulders. Exhaling down. Belly. Obliques even deeper. Lower back. And the entire waist. All directions. Exhaling down and widen the stance. Now we're going to do the third and final warm-up exercise. Even though this is part of another set called the 8 pieces of the brocade, we do these 3 just to warm ourselves up. You're going to sit in this half horse stance. Feet are shoulder length and a half apart. So you widen and you're going to bend down just a little bit. A full horse stance in martial arts will be down here. In Kung Fu and Tai Chi, Kung Fu more specifically, a Shaolin, Wushu, horse stance is low. Sometimes you'll see it low in karate, normally not as low as Shaolin monks do. But in Tai Chi, it'll be a half horse stance. You might even see some people kind of up here or only slightly bent. I do recommend sitting a little bit lower if you can and really working the thighs. You want to feel the work in the thighs. You're going to get very, very strong legs from this. Inhaling, hollow fists, which looks like a meditative posture. These hollow fists will be rested right on the hips, and you're going to soften the elbows, which softens the shoulder. So if you find yourself pulling your elbows back, that actually means tension in the upper back. So you want to soften that out and just keep the connection on the hips. They're as if they're glued to the hips. They're not actually resting on the hips. And then you're going to exhale, pelvis rotating on the femur, and as if you have a straight line going through the hips. This keeps the back straight. The chest will be parallel to the ground, eyes looking straight down. And inhale. The breath pulls you up, eyes on the belly button, exhaling down. Inhaling up, eyes on the belly button, exhale. Inhaling up, eyes on the belly button. The breath should feel like a rope that you're climbing. Exhale. And then reverse it. I'm only doing this movement with my hands to help you visualize the sensation. It should feel like you're climbing your own breath. See the color pull into the belly? Exhale, push it out. Releasing it, it's lowering you down. And one more. Hand drops down. Inhaling up. Exhale, wash the color of the palms and fingertips. And we're about to begin. Inhale, breath pulls the wrist back. Exhale, hands float down. Inhaling up. Exhaling out. Inhale, draw the breath in. And exhale, as the hands float down, this is called an attention circuit. You're going to have the attention of the middle of the fingers be as if they're on the back. So it's as if your fingers are touching your back, and they're wherever the fingers point, they're softening that area of the body. So here, I'm sliding my hand down, all this softens, all the way down to my heels, down to my toes. Inhaling up, exhale, pushing the color through. Inhale, draw back in. Exhale, softening from the top of the head down the back of the neck, upper back, middle back, lower back. That's where I am right now, just under my middle back and into my lower. Softening even downward, down the thighs, softening the knees. nails into the ground. And it's fantastic. It's a really, really great way to soften the body, but it's also super important as you start to train and have, let's say, you want to redirect your opponent's attention, or you have a connection between one part of the body and the other part of the body that is creating, let's say, if I want to lock someone with one arm without grabbing, this is the attention circuit is something I reference so that I know that I'm creating or I'm softening, either creating tension or softening my body weight into my opponent with very intentional timing and moving my attention along the shape that I've created so that my opponent reacts to where my body weight goes, especially if it's a subtle but very tight moment, meaning that the subtle pressure and the reactions of the opponent to the subtle pressure are something that they may not be consciously aware of. So if I can be conscious because I have more control over the speed at which my attention moves up my arm or down my body, whether I'm flexing or softening, it's a very, very powerful application of this one concept, this attention circuit. There's many applications to it, and it's very, very important in general, especially for the breath work and visualization, and especially as we go into Neigong, which we're doing right now. This is exercise 1 of the 12 yin set of Neigong. Exhale, push the color to the palms and fingertips. Inhale, gather, hollow fists. Again, hollow fists look like meditation, except not exactly, just a little bit over. So my index finger is hidden a little bit behind my thumb. And I'm going to have these hollow fists facing the ceiling. Inhaling up, exhale, push the color out. My shoulder blades go out too when I push the color out. Inhale, hollow fists, and exhaling, pelvis rotating on the femur. That's right here. And my back remains straight. Pelvis rotates in the femur. Eyes looking straight down. Elbows in front of the eyes. Straight line from the top of the head to the tailbone. Inhale into the belly. And exhale. You're going to push the color as you exhale down the legs into the ground. Your arms, of course, remain the same, just painting the path with my hands. Inhale into the belly. And you're going to exhale, and the color is going to wash through the lungs. You're going to visualize and feel, experience that color washing throughout the lungs with the intention, super important word, the intention of strengthening the lungs. That means that the breath is programmed with your intent to strengthen. So you send a message of strengthening to the lungs as you move the color through it. Inhale again. And exhale, wash down the arms, the palms, and fingertips. Inhaling deep. And exhaling anywhere you want to gain strength. Inhale, you're going to open the hands. And you might notice that my posture has kind of gotten a little bit less than ideal. My back is no longer flat like a table. It's actually bent. So we'll fix that in 1 second. I'm going to open the hands, and I'm going to palms up, reach the palms, crossing them through the legs. Notice that my hands are crossed, and they're going to uncross as I reach behind me. They're going to uncross, reaching straight back. Now you'll notice that my spine is curved right now. That's something I don't want. I want to lift the collarbone to remove that curve as much as possible. And there's a straight line from the top of the head to the tailbone. So do your best to keep the chest parallel to the ground. Lift the collarbone. There's no need to intentionally arch the back. You don't want to intentionally arch the back because especially for some people, they actually have, they're very, very flexible. And they can actually go through with a full arch, and that's great. But you want to just keep the back flat. And there's always quotations around the concept of straight in Tai Chi. So this flat surface, of course, is going to have natural curves. And we're going to inhale to the belly again. And exhale down the legs into the ground. Repeat the same breath work. Inhaling to the belly. And exhaling through the lungs, strengthening the lungs. Inhale to the belly. Exhaling down the arms, the palms, and fingertips. Inhaling to the belly. And exhale anywhere you want to gain strength in the body. And this is a super important note. Anywhere that you might want to heal, anywhere you want to strengthen. If you feel tension, you want to release it. We'll get into that more in a second. Or if you want to gain more circulation, more warmth in a particular area that might feel cold, inhale to the belly and push that color into that area of the body. And then let the hands float down. Inhale, breath lifts you up. Exhale to the palms of fingertips. And this is normally where you go right into exercise number 2, but we're going to save that for next week. We're going to cycle this. We're going to do a lot about one exercise right now, get into more and more detail. So exhale, a way to rest, especially when you mix these exercises up and bring them up. Merge them with other Nagon exercises or any exercises you might do. You're going to inhale up, drawing the breath up the leg, as if you're reeling in a fishing line into the belly. So the color, as you inhale, travels up the leg into the belly, and you're going to exhale and kick the breath through the toes. Multiple things are going to happen here. You're going to exhale, push the breath through the toes. You're going to keep the eyes on the toes. You're going to soften the muscle around the bone. So you're going to minimize the tension in the muscles around the bone. And you're going to kick very precisely, because if you just soften the muscles, the joints can also, it can also not feel good. The joints can twist unnecessarily. So you really have to bring the leg up, almost as if you're going to do a kick, like a side kick, and then push it out, soften with that whipping motion, soften the muscle. So, but notice right at the end, you're actually creating a solid shape, a straight line from the toe up. So you're going to soften and up, soften, soften straight. So you're just whipping the leg out. And we're going to switch legs to the other side. You want the breath work, the visualization, and the blood to cascade down. So you inhale up like you're reeling in a fishing line on the other side. And exhale. Pushing the visualization to the toe, softening the muscle so the blood can cascade through the toe. Down, rush down. And this is really, really helpful as a body mechanic if you're throwing strikes, any type of strikes. There's so many different ways to generate power. I was listening to my son's Kenpo school talking about 3 ways of generating power last week. Not to say that they're limited to that system of 3, but what I'm getting at is that there's so many different ways, and I've heard so many different styles talk about so many different ways. But one thing that I think is important, one particular method I think is important, is really getting that whipping motion, that beautiful whipping motion, which comes from softening and intentionally softening and then recreating the tension in the muscles. So you release the tension, whip out, boom, you might create tension and then soften and release it again. And I think it's just a really, really key for getting the beauty of your movement, because whether or not you're fighting somebody, you want to feel great while you do this stuff. So, and you should feel beautiful while you're doing martial arts. So, and then a bunch of health benefits from this as well. Again, softening the muscles, move the blood, release the blood, circulate down. So let's do another one. Inhaling up, exhaling out. Inhale, gathering, palms, they're going to face the ceiling. Your feet should be shoulder length and half apart. You're going to exhale, pelvis rotates on the femur. Doing this from the front view right now. I should also note that from the front view, you'll notice that my palms are not facing the ceiling all the way. They're slightly curved, and that's because of scar tissue on my wrists. So if you can do it, turn your palms all the way to the ceiling. I have my head straight line from the top of the head to the tailbone. Boom. Chest parallel to the ground. And we're going to focus on this breath work again. We're going to inhale to the belly. Exhale down the legs. Inhale to the belly. Exhale, wash the lungs. Inhale to the belly. Wash the color down the arms, palms, and fingertips. The hands should get warm from that. And if they don't right away, over time, Inhale through the belly. And exhale anywhere you want to gain strength. Inhale, open the hands, and exhale through the legs. Remember, you're going to cross the arms. They're here, you cross them, and then you uncross them, reaching straight through the leg. The palms are facing up. My upper back might bend, lift the upper back. And this is tiring too, tiring for the back. So you might notice that on your second time, it might be harder to hold the posture, which is okay. Inhale to the belly, and exhale down the legs into the ground, like you're pushing the color into the ground, connecting with the ground. And do your best to move the attention into the ground, to actually connect with the ground, feel it. Inhale to the belly. Exhale, wash the color through the lungs. Feel the strength and feel the posture here. Inhale to the belly. Exhale, push the color down the arms with the palms and fingertips. This could be considered an awkward posture, but you still can move the energy, move the circulation, the sensitivity through the limbs. So feel that color move through the hands. Inhale to the belly. And then exhale wherever you want to gain strength. Hands drop it down. Inhale, breath lifts the wrist. Exhale. Color pushes out through the hands. Inhale, draw it. And exhale. We're softening into one side. When I drop my hands, if you're not familiar with Tai Chi, when I drop my hands, it's as if I'm lowering my attention, pushing you can even consider it pushing the chi down, if you want to use that terminology, pushing the chi downward. And the chi there's so much stacked in that word. The attention is part of what's stacked in that word. Pushing the attention downward. My attention can go down without my body going down at all. So I'm pushing my attention down and dropping the body, connecting into one leg so it's solid. I have softness in my groin here, meaning that my groin is not open, it's softened and collapsed. So I can inhale, draw the other leg up. And then I'm going to exhale, kick through the other leg. Soften the muscle, soften the toes, and breathing all the way through. You want to visualize that color. And then, of course, the other side. Even if you just drop without the hand movement, totally fine. But what you really want is to know that you've completely chosen one side of the body to support the entire structure. Inhale, drawing the color up the leg, into the belly. Exhale, kicking it out. And switch. We'll do 2 uplifting heavens, and then we're going to change the breathing pattern. We're going to make some adjustments because we want to go even deeper. Lots of these exercises lend themselves to you being able to move the colors through your body, move the breath. And if you haven't been trained to connect your breath to visualization, I'd highly recommend inserting this into your foundation as quickly as possible. It is a very, very important component to going beyond the Tai Chi system. Really, really important stuff. And important to go deeper into the Tai Chi system and to go beyond the Tai Chi system, because there's a bunch of stuff that predates Tai Chi, which essentially has been collected into Tai Chi. So if these esoteric concepts are really, really, really important, I think, for human life in general. So really want to be able to move. These movements lend themselves to the color visualization washing through the body. It's great stuff. But they don't necessarily lend themselves to you having the stillness in the body to wash with just the breath and the mind, to wash the attention through the body with just the breath and the mind. What I mean by that specifically is going into the organs, going into the bones, and doing it in a way that even deeper into the cells, etc. These are concepts you actually have to think to do it. You actually have to think on the cellular level to do it. You have to think in the bone marrow to do it. So like all of these, and when I say do it, I want to be even more specific. What I'm saying is that the attention has to be directed specifically. There's a bunch of health benefit that we get from this without the specific direction. But if we don't take the opportunity to use the moments that allow us to give ourselves very specific direction, then we're not making the most out of these postures. So with that said, we're going to do this again. We're going to take it to a deeper level. Exhale, washing the colors of the palms and fingertips. Inhale, drawing the breath in. Exhale, soften down the back. Do that attention circuit again. Down the legs, the calves, heels, ankles, heels into the ground. Inhaling up. Exhaling out. Inhale, gather. And when you gather, remember, hollow fists facing the ceiling. Boom, hollow fists. Exhale, pelvis rotates on the femur. Eyes looking straight down. Elbows in front of the eyes. Straight line from the top of the head to the tailbone. Boom, sticks out. Sticks straight out. Not necessarily up, but straight back. Straight line from the top of the head. Chest parallel to the ground. Back flat like a table. We're going to inhale into the belly. And this time we're going to exhale and move the color through the whole body like a radar, scanning the whole structure, meaning that the color will be centralized in the lower dantian, and then it'll move through the whole body, head to toe, in all directions at the same time. Inhale deep, exhale. One thing to help you give that sensation to yourself, which you have to do. It won't just come to you. You have to engineer the experience. So when you exhale, one thing that I do here is, especially in my first exhalation, I'll exhale and really soften my shoulders and my elbows so that I know that I'm releasing any tension, as much tension as possible, to allow my attention to move freely through the muscles and allow the circulation to move freely through the muscles. So inhale deep, exhale out. So we're going to go deeper each time with the breath work here. The first time you just want to scan the body. Next time you're going to inhale deep and look for any unnecessary tension in the body. Next time, go deeper and look for any dark patches that you might find. Even deeper, exhale, looking for any cold spots you might find. And inhale, open the hands, exhale, reaching through the legs, straight back. Lift my collarbone. My back is honestly getting a little bit tired right now. I just came off of a fast this morning, so this is great. Inhaling into the belly and exhale. And now you're going to program attention into the exhalation. As you scan the body, any tension, unnecessary tension is going to melt away. You can even push the color into a particular area of the body that might have unnecessary tension. And just feel it. Say in your mind that it's melting away, that the color going into that muscle, that organ, is melting away the tension. Inhaling deep. Do the same thing again, this time for the cold areas of your body, or the areas that might be too warm and need to be cooled, whatever you need to do in terms of temperature regulation. Inhale deep. Find that area. I feel a little coolness on my right shin, so I need to make an adjustment, both in my posture and in my intention with my breath work, directing it. Exhaling. And bring some warmth into those areas that are cold, where the energy or the circulation might be stagnant. Inhale deep. Or move heat in your body that might be too much in an area and disperse it, spread it out. Whatever you need to do, you have to really focus on the discipline of actually connecting with the challenge and redirecting it toward what your desired outcome with your intention. Inhale deep. Exhale, spread the whole body, drop the hands down. Inhale, breath lifts the wrists, wrist lift the whole body. Exhaling out. Inhaling deep. It's very rare that I do a deep dive like this on these exercises because they're so important and so powerful, and a lot of times that they also cost a lot of energy to hold them. So you may not be able to fully instruct someone as much detail as you would like. So feel free to pause this video, come back to it another day, or keep on watching and just keep on getting more of the details. Exhaling out and switch. Exhaling down. Inhaling, drawing the leg up. Exhaling out. And sliding in. Let's do 2 uplifting heavens to stretch. Inhaling out. I totally feel the work in my lower back right now. I also did yoga this morning and some clean and press weight exercises for lunch after a fast. So we're gonna do a little bit more. I personally just need to do a little bit more to warm up and to, not warm up, to stretch out the back. So I'm gonna inhale, reaching across my hips and over my shoulders. Inhaling. And I can look up. You can spin through the index, middle finger, and the pinky and the thumb, spinning the fingers upward. Exhale, down. Inhale, spin to the other side. Index finger, thumb, pinky. Exhale, down. Other side. Inhaling up. Exhale. Inhale, reaching over. This time we're going to reach the bottom hand behind our back. And boom. Again, you normally wouldn't do this exercise this many times. So it's important to stretch if you are doing it. And if you feel yourself that it might be too much for you to keep going, again, pause the video, take some time. Don't overstretch because that can damage you as well. One more. Inhaling. The fingers should feel as if they're reaching down like a snake to the toes. So really feel that reach. Exhale. Inhale, drawing in. Exhale down. And so let's continue. And just to, are there any questions so far on this exercise? Any thoughts, ideas, mechanical adjustments, etc.? Feeling good? All right. Anyone who's watching on YouTube, etc., always just put in some notes, some questions if you might have, or comments, etc. Again, this is one of those exercises. To be quite honest, there's a handful of exercises in Tai Chi that multiple teachers have told me to be cautious of because of how the energy flows, and if it's done improperly, they could cause serious challenges like cancer. This is one of the exercises that has been that was drilled into me when I was a teenager, to be cautious of this exercise. So I'm always cautious of it from the sense that when I'm teaching a new student, and even students that are with me for a long time, I'll go over it with them, but I normally won't do it a lot with them. And that's because the type of discipline that's required to do the posture properly and for extended periods of time without overtly injuring yourself, at the very least, is essentially Tai Chi as a lifestyle. So there have been very few people I've encountered, very, very few, and I have encountered them that have no Tai Chi experience at all, that may not even work out, that have incredible musculature and incredible endurance, that can just do any exercise and they're just fine. So people like that exist. The majority of the people are not like that, and so I just can't emphasize enough the amount of caution. I would do this once with your students if you're teaching this, and then move on. And every time you do it, maybe every week, or so that you do it with them, to always make smaller and smaller adjustments to make sure that the back is straight, the chest is parallel to the ground, the elbows are somewhat close to the eyes in terms of the eye line, and the eyes are going straight down, straight line from the top of the head to the tailbone, all those little things. And then you start focusing on circulation, the breath work, and visualization. So body mechanic first, especially in this exercise, especially because it does work the back so intensely, and the legs. If people's legs are shaking, you know, definitely let them come up after a while. If you need a time limit for these, a time limit for this exercise, I would recommend 20 seconds per posture, like hands out front, hands out back, and then working up to maybe a minute per posture. So it could be as long as 10 seconds, but I've had students who are in rehab who, you know, can only do it for 10 seconds, and that's totally fine, but they did it. And we worked up every week. So it's a great exercise. Again, golden tortoise. First exercise of 12 yin set of Neigong from the Wu style Tai Chi exercise set. So exhale, push the color, palms, fingertips. Inhale, drawing in. Exhale, softening down the back. Head to heels. Again, that's not necessarily part of the Wu style. That's part of my personal training experience. Exhale, pushing the color through the palms and fingertips. Inhale, drawing the color in, palms facing the ceiling. So my shoulder blades are disappearing, and if you want, you can keep them in, keep them disappearing to the back, because they should disappear, and they should remain gone as you go down. Again, what that means is that you might still have some tension in my shoulders. If you look at my shoulders right now, there's definitely some tension. So I have to drop down. I also have to reestablish the good points of what we're talking about, the proper posture. That means chest parallel to the ground, which caused me to lift my collarbone. Straight line from the top of the head to the tailbone. Boom. The elbows are in front of the eye line, and the eye line is straight downward. So you notice that the hands will come forward a little bit, which adds more weight to the upper body, to the upper back. There's more pressure pulling you down because you're pushing your arms forward. You don't want to push them up so much. They don't have to be directly in front of the eyes, but close to it. And inhale to the belly. And exhale for the color of the whole body. Soften the body. Inhale deep. Exhale. Really feel even deeper than the overt body, meaning just the muscles and the bones. Do your best to go into the organs, into the bone marrow, into the cells, into the skin. Inhale deep. Exhale. Just keep on deepening your attention. Go into the cells even more. Feel a good circulation. If you feel anything anywhere that feels out of alignment, push the color to that area with the intention of restoring alignment. You can be you can be that general if you need to be. But if you can get more specific, if you have more body awareness, or more awareness of the actual science of your own body and the needs that you might have for recovery, etc., then by all means, program your breath work with that knowledge and with the solution. Exhale, the desired solution, putting the hand through, lift the collarbone. Inhale to the belly. Exhale to the whole body. Inhale deep. Inhale deep. Exhaling out. Really want the heat to be even to the body. One more breath. Inhale, necessary tension melts away, hands float down. Inhale, breath lifts the wrist lift the body, especially if you've been doing it as much as we have. You want to take any unnecessary tension off of the, any pressure off the back to lift up. You really want to lift from, let's do this again, just this part. Inhale, the breath lifts the wrists, and the wrists lift the body. Very particular. This breath work, this pulley system breath work I primarily found it in Wu style Tai Chi. I have not found it really anywhere else, but I found that it is massively helpful. The first place I found it massively helpful was Shaolin Kung Fu, traditional Shaolin Temple Kung Fu when I was in the Shaolin Temple, and how the breath of allowing the belly to pull strings attached to your wrists. So you have multiple visual infrastructures layered on top of each other in Tai Chi. The breathwork visualization biomechanic system is essentially a matrix, like an onion. It's three-dimensional. It's not just like this thing, then this thing, then this thing. So there's multiple dimensions happening, and they're all happening at the same time. You have to train one at a time to get used to it, meaning that you might just push breath color from the belly out to the palms. That might be the thing you're doing. And you might be moving it through other parts of the body as well. But then you also want to have an awareness of being able to lift the bones in the body as if the breath, again, controlling a pulley system that's above your head. Inhale up, exhale out. So, Shaolin Kung Fu helped me do that, lifting the limb, the wrist down, helped me understand the application outside of Tai Chi, but using the same visual infrastructure. So, Uplifting Heaven is a great place to train that. Inhaling up, the breath lifts the wrists. Notice that I'm not energizing the fingertips yet. The energizing of the fingertips, and we'll talk about energizing it. I talked about that in other videos. I'm happy to go deeper into that. This is more of a reverse breathing Tai Chi concept, but it does happen everywhere. But reverse breathing Tai Chi has given the most specific explanation, which essentially, that I found, which essentially is you start to pull a color in through the fingertips, and it looks like I'm just pointing, but the intention is to vacuum the color in through the fingertips. And you might even use the pinky as well sometimes, but we don't do that in this first part. We exhale, then as we're pushing the color out to the palms of the fingertips, that's where the energizing happens. And then we keep it energized. Boom. We actually double the energization. Exhale, push the palms of the fingertips, inhaling up. So my hands are energized, interconnecting and exhaling down. And then inhaling up. Stretching out of the palms, or should I say out of the shoulders, out of the hips, exhaling down. So bringing that concept right back into that lift from the forearms, let's go down again, just to get the posture. Inhaling up, exhale to the palms of the fingertips. Sorry, lift from the wrist. Hollow fist, exhaling down into our posture. Inhale deep, exhale back, crossing the arms, uncrossing them, reestablish the collarbone lift. Exhale, dropping down right here. Right as you feel it come, the hands come to shoulder height, meaning that they're straight down. That's when you start the inhalation. And this will lead us to our second exercise, embracing the one, which we'll do next week. I want to do this one more time. So hollow fist, going down. Exhale, crossing, uncrossing, collarbone up. Exhaling down. And so I'm letting my hands slowly, as I exhale, float down. Ideally, there's no stopping. So you exhale and inhale. So you allow the momentum to carry you. Let's do that again. Hollow fist down. Reaching back. Chest up. Exhaling, the hands go down. Boom, inhaling, they come up. Exhale. So notice that I went from wrists being lifted and exhaling to the palms and fingertips. Inhale deep. And that's been Golden Tortoise. We'll do our stretches to Uplifting Heaven. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Feet 2 fists apart. Inhale, the breath lifts the wrists. Once again, it happens all over the wusa. And then the fingers energize. That means that as they start to go over the head, boom, you start to inhale through the fingertips. First, you're inhaling with the pulley system, and then you let the fingertips take over. This is really, really powerful, especially in grappling too, where you start to switch and you feel. I was working with Jason from the World Series of Jiu-Jitsu a couple weeks ago. We're still going to post that video. And one of the things that I was noticing and I talked to him about is, hey, feel your fingers, because he was taught Tai Chi without feeling the fingertips. So that means that his shape is incomplete. So you haven't used all of your body in a particular structure if you don't finish with the fingertips. But that's not to say that you should always finish with the fingertips. That's where strategy comes in. That's where when you're grappling, you want to be able to move and say, you know what, I'm not going to finish that move, but my opponent doesn't necessarily have the same level of experience as I do, so they may not know that I haven't filled my fingertips. So I'm going to create this structure, move it to another one, and then fill my fingertips so that they can feel the full power of the posture I've chosen. Really nuanced stuff, but we're working on that with Jason, and it's going to be great. So inhale. And that's not to take away from his Tai Chi experience, it's just to add to it. Inhaling up, and then inflate the fingers. Reach the back, chest up, hips forward, point the toes, exhale, butt back, fingers forward. My fingers remain energized. My knees are straight, my legs are locked. And then I'm going to exhale, soften the knees. Inhaling up, breathless the wrist. And then fingers energized, reaching to the back wall. Chest reaches to the ceiling. So that's a separate component. 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then on toes, 4. Exhaling, butt back, fingers forward. Keep the legs straight the entire time. Soften the knees. And then inhale, just the wrists up. Inhale, scooping white light into the belly. 1 foot forward. Exhaling down. Hold the toes. Inhale deep. Exhale, pull yourself in more. Inhaling up. White light to the belly. Exhaling down. Grab the toe. Inhale deep. Exhale, pull yourself a little bit more. Inhaling up. We're going to go 45 degrees here. Notice my back leg is bent. White line to the belly. And I'm pushing it down the leg, visualizing it. My toe is up, and I'm going to grab the top of my toe. Inhale deep. Exhale, pulling myself to the toe, and I'm going to kiss it. And then inhale up. Switch your legs 45 degrees. Exhale, white line down the leg. Hold. Inhale deep. Exhale, pulling myself in like I'm going to kiss it. And inhaling up. Switch legs 90 degrees. Notice that my toe is up, so in other words, it's not down, it's up. And hold. Inhale deep. Exhaling, pulling myself in. Inhaling up, switching sides, white light in the belly. Exhale. Hold. Inhale deep. Feeling in. Inhaling up. Toes up. Exhale. Inhaling up, turn to the right. Inhaling up, turn to the left. Inhaling up, hands over the head. Stand down. And slapping off the head. Inside, soft part of the arms. Down the outside hard part of the arms. Inside soft part, turn, down the outside hard part. Over the shoulders. Slapping with the backs of the hands in the back. Gentle around the kidneys and the liver. Slapping more. Stronger at the back of the legs. Inhaling up. Just the fingertips. It's called Ocean of Blood returns to the source. 2 more breaths. Just the fingers go up. Not the elbows, just the fingers. And 1 more. And massage the chest. Rub the hands together first, actually. And massage chest around pectoral muscles, especially the perimeter of the pectoral muscles. All pressure points, massaging deeper into the pectoral muscles, the lymph nodes, all the pressure points. We're floating ribs up. Again, other side. Again. 4 fingers on the sternum, tapping. A U shape on the collarbone, either side. Just these fingers are hitting, the rest of my hand doesn't touch. Looking up. As you look up, relax all the way through the reproductive organs. You want to really soften. And then open the hand, and you're going to use this part of the hand from the collarbone to the chin. Give a strong massage upward. Counterpoints in the back of the neck, like you're wiping off sand. Up on the face and to the side, up to the side, up to the side. Fingers up, over, down, under the ear. Strong pressure. Earlobes. Under the chin, squeeze. For the hormones, squeeze, thumb and index finger. We'll do a video just on these massages at some point. Fingers in the scalp. Okay, that seems like there's something happening in the building. And with that said, I'm going to end Tai Chi to the people today. And JusticeForHire.app. Love you guys. I'm Coach Jan. And always wonderful training. Reach out if you ever have any questions. Love you. Present stuff.